Now, for more on this topic, I spoke to Eugen Weinberg. He's head of commodity research with Commerzebank AG. Now, I started by asking him what's causing the global oversupply of steel.
Recently, the steel prices rebounded sharply, but it shouldn't be fooling us because the problems in the steel sector on the production side are more there than in any time probably in the past. During the last 10-15 years, the capacities have been rising very strongly worldwide, and while for the larger part, at least in the first 10 years, the demand was the reason for the capacity to rise. Over the course of the last 3-4 years, the demand was pretty weak, especially in the emerging countries, while the capacity continued to grow. So we are talking right now about an overcapacity of being north of 500 million tons of steel produced annually. We are talking about utilization rate of only 75%, being below 80% for many years. Meanwhile, and this is definitely not a sustainable situation for the steel industry. Something is going to get. So we are looking for the cleaning up of these overcapacities, necessary cleanup of the overcapacities, in order for the steel industry to survive.
Now, obviously, this is a major concern for steel producers, but what about the average person? Help us try and understand how this actually affects everyday people.
Oh, it's a very good question, because in most of the products we are using, the material costs are pretty marginal. They are not really being felt at the pump. But in any case, the recent fallout in the commodity prices worldwide, not only on steel, but also on the other metals as well as energy sources, is one of the reasons why we're feeling this deflationary pressure worldwide and inflation expectations being exceptionally low in the most of the areas of this world. So definitely you're maybe not feeling it on a day by day, but the economists are feeling it, the markets are feeling it, and you're also feeling it via a very slow inflation pressure comparably to the past.
Now, another place where we're also feeling it is in China. We've seen that steel prices have picked up in the first few months of the year. What do you think has been driving that shift?
China is the driving factor and used to be the driving factor for the steel prices over the course of the last years. I would mention definitely the depleted inventories at the beginning of the year, also very low expectations, which was one of the reasons. I would also mention a pickup in industrial and especially infrastructure spending we witnessed, but we shouldn't be also underestimating the impact of the Chinese investors looking for new investment alternatives after more restrictions being put in place in the property market and on equity markets, with most of this hot money also being put right now into the commodity sector. Just take into consideration that during many days in April, steel rebar futures in Shanghai were the most liquid future, the most liquid commodity future worldwide, even ahead of the WTI or Brent oil futures trading in New York or London. So this is definitely a unique situation. It cannot continue forever. So I think that a lot of hot air was in the steel prices as of recently. I wouldn't be surprised to see a sudden setback in the prices probably already in the course of the next couple of weeks.
There has been a lot of finger pointing, especially from the US and from Europe, about China's role in this. So is there a risk that that could lead to trade protectionism with all this finger pointing? Or perhaps is there a better solution?
Yeah, it's not a better solution, but it's probably the only solution, because I would also share the opinion that some of the support, I would call it subsidies. You know, it's not direct subsidies. It's not only the higher buying prices there. It's also the low electricity costs, the cheaper interest rates, more financial support in general, and so on so later. So definitely there is a lot of support for the steel industry, because all the cantons, all the counties there being measured on the yearly GDP numbers, which are probably at easiest being achieved by using the heavy industry like aluminum or supporting the steel industry. So definitely there is a lot of the support by the Chinese local governments for this. And until this behavior changes, and I hope this will change, at least we got some noise over the course of the last 2 months from China pointing to really reconsideration of this behavior. Until this happens, I don't see a sustainable pickup.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.